everybody. Welcome to another episode of Jukebox Zeroes. I'm Lee.
I'm Patrick.
Normally, this is the part where we just kind of meander for a little bit, but we're on a slight time crunch, so in the apology section, I'll just say, sorry, there's no apology section this week.
I'm going to apologize for being thoroughly unprepared for like both of these podcasts. Actually, we should just go ahead.
Both podcasts? What on earth are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you weren't supposed to know.
The devil,
that.
you say.
Anyway, well, speaking of both podcasts, maybe we should just go ahead and introduce our guests since we're in their studio.
We're kind of out of our element today. Normally, we record at a hidden fortress located in the boonies of Marlborough, Massachusetts, but we're not there this time. We're in the Boston Free Radio Studios in Somerville, Massachusetts, with our special guests. One is a member of the groups Deborah and Solo Sex. Another is a member of the group Blame Shifters. Two completely disparate people, but when you put them together, they make the hosts of Make It Stop, another podcast about bad music.
Wow.
So let's welcome to the studio Heather Mack and Mike Dunn.
Oh, that's such a great intro.
So professional. You're showing off. You're showing off.
I do my homework.
You're
Thank you for
showing
being on the
off.
podcast.
He's a good host.
Look bad.
That was really great.
Lee's the good host. I'm the bad one.
You gotta have a good
don't
cop,
know.
bad cop
Yeah,
situation
sort of,
going
but
on.
Well, wait.
I feel like you tend to have a lot more information about some stuff than I do, though.
I don't know.
At least in terms of like instruments and that sort of stuff.
Some of it is conjecture. Some of it is I'm just like full of shit. But I'm a fucking nerd, just like you.
Yeah. But anyway, we got the hosts of
And now
another...
there's four of us in a room.
There's four podcasters in the same studio, all that do bad music podcasts.
We're gonna have some opinions.
What could possibly bring the four of us together? Well, let me tell you something. Today, or tonight rather, because we're recording at night, we are reviewing Hulk Rules by Hulk Hogan and the Wrestling Boot Band. Yes.
Brother!
Yes.
Normally this would be the point where I have a long essay-type spiel about the stuff, but...
Oh, do the essay.
Yeah, do your essay.
Yeah,
mean-
I know we're on a time crunch, but
It's fine.
Just do it. It's fine.
I want to see how this sausage is made.
No, what can I possibly say about it? You're all familiar with Terry Gene Bollea, better known to the world as Hulk Hogan, the most popular WWF, now WWE, wrestler of the 1980s, one of the biggest draws of the whole professional wrestling, and easily one of the most recognizable faces of the spectacle. All you need to know to fill in any gaps is that in all his year of celebrity, the Hulkster has lent his image to any numerous amount of short-lived products and services. Hulk Hogan movies, we got those. To the names Suburban Commando, Mr. Nanny, or Santa with Muscles.
We just watched that movie.
I've seen all three.
Thunder in Paradise. That's
Not to mention any of the numerous himself cameos to his IMDb page. Hulk Hogan TV shows.
What about Pastamania?
You got to mention.
Of course.
You got to mention Gremlins
Pastamania, the Hulk Hogan restaurant.
2. You got to mention Gremlins 2, right?
He's getting there.
He's getting there. Okay.
I'm sorry.
there's
We're so
nothing-
excited about this topic.
Yeah, I'm so excited about this. I'm so happy.
Yeah, we could skip over the TV shows. He had a reality show because everyone did, and fucking Thunder in Paradise, like you just said.
He had Hogan Knows Best, right?
Yeah,
That's the one.
He had another
with the
90s
daughter,
show where he played an
son.
ex-Navy SEAL mercenary, because all the best heroes were mercenaries at that time.
Yes.
And the Hulk Hogan restaurant, Pastamania, in the Mall of America. You could get Hulkaroni and cheese for one very brief year.
There's
I did not know
nothing-
about this.
There's
didn't
nothing
know
more
about-
America than that. At the fucking Mall of
Mall of
America.
America.
Exactly.
Dude, that's amazing.
Oh my God, that's so that's like early '90s, right? Era
Yeah, totally.
Hulk Hogan,
yes.
early '80s. Like, do you guys watch wrestling?
So, all right.
I am not a fan of wrestling, full disclosure. I don't dislike wrestling. I just never watched it, but I am a fan of the personalities, though.
I'm gonna agree.
They're just so infectious. Personally,
'cause
my favorite was always Macho Man Randy Savage, but
Oh,
you know,
his nemesis, Hogan's
Yeah.
nemesis. I mean, they were.
respect where it's all due, though.
Yeah, it's so campy. Like you can't not like it a little bit. Like I'm just like you. I didn't really watch it very much. I like kind of got into it for a little bit around the time, like in the late '90s, when like fucking
Attitude Era.
yeah, like Steve Austin
Yep.
and like
WCW.
Undertaker, The Rock, and all that shit.
You guys are in luck because Mike Dunn is like a huge wrestling nerd.
Yeah,
devil
I
you
mean,
say.
I don't know. As far as wrestling nerds go, I'm like pretty middle of the
Okay,
road.
whatever.
Compared to you guys, though.
Sure. But I am a wrestler with the Boston League of Wicked Wrestlers.
Surely you're not.
Yeah.
Surely not.
It's true.
Not real wrestling.
So you guys don't really know the context that this is kind of past Hulk Hogan's prime when this album came out.
Well, this was 1995,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. By that point, Hulk Hogan had already had his name on any numerous amount of products.
Well, this
Yeah.
He even had his
Yeah.
name attached to a web hosting service called Hostamania. This is true.
No, it's
I'm not making it up.
not.
So
Very
my
bad.
point is, of course, Hulk Hogan released an album. In 1995, he teamed up with his then-wife Linda Balea, wrestling manager Jimmy the Mouth of the South Hart,
Yep.
one of WWF's in-house musicians, J.J. Maguire. This quartet made up the group that would become the Wrestling Boot Band. J.J. Maguire also famous for composing a lot of theme songs for his fellow wrestlers, including Hogan's own walk-in song, Real American, which was performed by Rick Derringer, fun fact.
Which is not on this album, right?
No, but his WCW theme song is on this.
This album was released after he was in the WCW and not the WWF.
okay.
Yeah.
They couldn't put Real American on it because WWF still had the rights.
So yeah, this was kind of the era where everyone was jumping ship from the WWF to the WCW. This was kind of the low point of the WWF. This was when they were having like their main event was like Yokozuna and like,
Sting was
Sting was WCW. WCW was killing
my
the
bad.
game at this point.
In the mid-90s, right?
And this was Hulk Hogan had just jumped ship to WCW before this album came out, like a year before. And I feel like this was right before he started the NWO, where he became a bad guy for the first time, like
right.
in his career, or like since the early '80s or something.
I mean, was he considered forgive me if I'm getting my terms, my nomenclature mixed up, but was he like considered a baby face before?
He was the ultimate baby face of wrestling for all of the '80s, basically.
He's supposed to be like an American hero.
He's an American hero.
Yeah, he was supposed to be likable.
There's never been a wrestling star as big as Hulk Hogan before or since. Like
Internationally known.
I mean,
if you ask someone who knows nothing about wrestling, name a wrestler, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna say Hulk Hogan.
Right.
some might say The Rock, but like
The Rock or Stone Cold are up there.
Just curious, not to drift too far from the topic, but you guys are both wrestling fans, so you've probably been keeping up with current wrestling. Who would you say best encapsulates that new role now in wrestling?
I mean,
John, go ahead.
well, I was gonna say who you're gonna say, but
I was going to say John Cena, obviously. Like,
Oh.
you
Wait,
know.
he's still a wrestler? I thought he
Yeah, he
went the
is.
same path as The Rock and is just sort of in movies now.
I mean,
he's doing both.
He's doing both.
oh, okay.
But yeah, John Cena is.
Set up to be the
He
American
is
hero.
They're kind of phasing out John Cena right now because he's doing so many movies. There's kind of a new era kind of happening, and I don't know that anyone's
Renaissance, if you
I don't know
will.
that anyone's really taken Cena's place yet. Like people really like AJ Styles, but the thing with Cena though is he's still not nearly as big as fucking Hogan. John Cena gets booed because people are sick of him. Like Hogan, this was when people still thought wrestling was real. You know?
Oh yeah.
Wrestling
not this,
wrestling
though.
is real.
That's the thing,
first
though.
of
In the
all.
80s, people thought wrestling was real. In the 90s, in 95, when this album came out, Hulk had jumped ship to WCW. No one really cared about wrestling that much anymore, and they didn't know what to do with him. I don't think he knew what to do with himself. So this is the result of Hulk Hogan with too much time on his hands.
Yeah.
Too much time.
So Heather, you said that you're a wrestler, right?
I am a wrestler,
Like,
yes.
Are we talking like professional wrestler? Like you're in a costume?
Amateur pro.
Awesome.
I'm
What's
a
your,
wrestling.
Who's your persona?
Pammy, she's a tough talking broad from the South Shore. She works at a Bradley's department store with her best friend, totally platonic, but we kiss sometimes.
She's got a-
Sheryl, and
she's got a fanny pack and a
it's
windbreaker.
perpetual 1994, where we actually have a big show this weekend tomorrow. So come to it or whatever.
Hey, save it
I
for
love
the
it.
plugs.
Yes, if you're from Massachusetts, if you appreciate Massachusetts regionalisms and that are authentic and that read too close to home, like this entire show that we're doing this weekend is about, it's like sex education because we have to go to remedial sex ed class because of our Catholic upbringings and we don't understand what to do, and we have best friends, best chums, chum blocker diaphragms that we stuck.
Chum blocker.
It's been that have been
Take my
inside of
chum
us for
blocker.
20 years.
And if you want to go to this show, you can't.
And you
because
can't.
It already happened.
And it already happened. Well, it was
Dating
fun.
this episode.
You can buy the DVD. Anyway,
We're not talking about wrestlers. We're talking about singing wrestlers.
yeah.
1995, Hulk Hogan and the Wrestling Boot Band releases Hulk Rules. The record clocks in at a mere 29 minutes and 34 seconds, jump sounds and genres from arena rock to country music
Yeah,
to
it
power
sure does.
to power ballads to hip-hop music.
It's a hell of a whirlwind,
And
man.
the general
Yeah.
consensus was that it was hot garbage. Despite charting at number 12 on the Billboard Kids Albums charts.
made it to the kids album.
Yeah, this definitely sounds like a kid's album. There are many parts of the song.
So touching upon how you said this is kind of like the downturn of the sort of denouement of Hulk Hogan's involvement with WWF, I feel like this album, came out in 1995. It sounded like it was recorded in 1988.
Right, it does.
Right, it's
So
definitely...
has this been sitting for sitting for 7 years and then...
Food Fight,
that's just
movie.
what Hulk Hogan...
Exactly.
That's just the music Hulk Hogan was familiar with at the time, I think.
He was like, all right.
Him and...
Yeah. He did used to be the bassist in a cover band before he became a wrestler.
Yeah,
So at least he has some musical acumen.
No, he actually, he plays bass in this album. There's a couple pretty sweet bass licks.
Yeah, actually, there's a few songs I noted that.
Right. JT Griffith of AllMusic.com gave the album a 1.5 star rating. Is that still not the lowest AllMusic rating that we've had, though?
No, Attila was 1.
I liked Attila.
Yeah, I think that was an unfair rating.
But anyway, JT Griffith said of Hulk Rules is a classic dollar store find. Paying any more should get you body slammed.
You know what, though?
I feel like that's very fair.
I think it's unfair because I feel like this album knows that it's a dollar store CD.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I found this at a dollar store, I'd be pleased with the pull. I don't know.
Well, that's
this
because
album
we do a podcast about bad music.
I know. But this album is just...
we're the target audience here, but not really, not the intended one, but like the unintended target audience of all of these like 90s nostalgia like anthems.
But this one's so silly.
It is really
It is
goofy.
very silly.
Now, here's the thing. As I mentioned, we have 4 podcasters. All 4 of us have experience working in music. We all have a strange fascination with music that's considered bad and the worst of all time. We all have developed, finely honed critical minds, sort of. And yet the question remains.
In a way.
It is, and I repeat, Hulk Rules by Hulk Hogan and the Wrestling Boot Band. How on earth are we supposed to review this with a fair, unbiased, critical ear? Beats the hell out of me, but you've already listened this far into the episode, so fuck it. You guys want to dive into it?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't wait.
I love. Yes, we're here. We're here.
Got Heather working the soundboards. If you would be so kind as to cue up track 1 on the album, titled "Hulkster's in the House."
It would be my distinct pleasure.
The Hulkster's in the house. Check him out, check him out. Get up off your seat. He's got a brand new beat. When the going gets tough, the tough get rough. Hey, hey, oh, oh, come on, let's go.
Now, what can only be described as the mission statement track of this album, doing the thankless job of informing the listener of the myriad places the Hulkster is. E.g. the house, the room, etc.
Thank goodness he's keeping us informed, because I get worried when he wanders off.
Yeah.
I love this song.
Right?
You know what I would really love to hear is like a beat down hardcore band cover of this song.
Dude, you know what I
hear the
said?
Death Before Dishonor version.
Honestly,
Oh my
this
God.
sounds like it could be a Dictators track. Like it sounds like that same kind of like jock rocky, like almost like New York Dollsy kind of thing. Like that
Well, except way more
ridiculous,
macho.
obviously, but it was hey ho,
Like
let's
a
get. It
Twisted
was
Sister
definitely
track?
like Twisted Sister, exactly, like Dictators, Twisted Sister, that kind of vibe. Also, I love how they say raising the roof and something rock and roll, like roof and roll does not
Rocking down the road.
yeah, like those things don't rhyme, but you say it with such conviction that I believe you. I believe they rhyme.
They're all over
Yeah.
the map on this record. We got a cornucopia of genres.
Cornucopia is a good word to describe it.
It is a cornucopia.
Cornucopia.
Oh, very much.
Got to
so.
give credit to Hogan on this for actually making an attempt to sing and being able to pull off a vocal style that seems only appropriate for the 80s stadium rock that this album is filled with. But it's also pretty silly that he's barely featured on a track that explicitly bears his name in the title.
That happens
Yeah.
on a lot of these songs.
Yeah, this is
Isn't
all gang vocals.
And isn't it his wife doing backup vocals because he was
on
like,
one
you're
song later in the album.
Oh, okay.
Hogan's on maybe 4 songs on the album, I feel like. Because Jimmy Hart sings a couple of them.
Yeah,
His
those are
wife
weird.
sings
Those are
one.
weird.
I don't know. I guess he's on at least half the songs. But yeah, there's a bunch. He can't sing.
No.
I read an interview with him where he
We all have
admitted
our
it,
skills.
where he was like,
you know?
honestly, I couldn't.
That is
I
not
couldn't
one of
sing.
Hulk's. And there's nothing wrong with that.
But
Yeah. He can act.
But he can pull out the
you wanna walk that one back?
da.
No, I think okay, sorry, I will walk it back because professional wrestling is real. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Sorry, I will walk that comment back.
Thank you.
My
It
apologies.
is real.
I mean,
It is hard. If you ever tried to...
Professional wrestling probably does take some sort of, acting sort of talent.
Oh yeah.
If only to make those, all those blows and stuff look real.
It's
and
like
not
kind
They
of
are
acting
real.
and
Yeah.
tumbling.
And also
You're right. I'm sorry. What was I thinking?
And also the promos too. Like if you it's hard. You watch these crazy, coked up Hogan promos, and like you think it's just insane ramblings, but you try to do that yourself. You try to emulate. Everyone just Google Hulk Hogan promo, and just try to
The
emulate
80s
that.
really was the heyday for like the wrestling promo, wasn't it?
Because let me tell you something, brother. It's pretty hard to do, dude. You want to talk endlessly like the Hulk? You want to keep it going without any pauses in your speaking? Well, let me tell you something, brother. These 21-inch pythons.
That's as far as I can go.
Yeah.
If this was a visual medium at this point, there would be like a counter in the upper right corner saying how many times we've done a wrestler impersonation.
Wasn't that like video that was going around for a while? The Iron Sheik like drunk as fuck, where he's just fucked out of his mind. He's like, "No good piece of shit, motherfucker."
Yeah.
And like
Break his
I
back,
think that
make
was
him
like
humble.
I think that was like the last wrestling promo ever, like of that cloth.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy time in the 80s. Everyone was so clearly on so much cocaine.
And
If you watch,
steroids.
and steroids, yeah, which is a wild combo.
Yeah.
If you watch any of these promos, him, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man,
My man, Macho
like it was
Man.
a different, it was a...
If you ever
I
see
am the
the
cream.
you ever see the documentary, the Iron Sheik documentary that came out, I think like 2014 or something like that.
I have not seen it. Is it very sad?
It's very sad.
I would
yes.
imagine it's very sad. He's
But-
like got a super broken body, right? Like,
Yeah, and he was a crackhead for a while, but
Yeah.
he's gotten clean since, and I think he's found his new niche on Twitter.
Yeah.
doing that.
If you've
he's a
ever
pretty
seen his
amazing
Twitter profile, he posts some.
oh, it's great.
It's good stuff.
I think
It's
he's
my
got someone to do
sunshine.
that for him, I bet, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I love it
he's got a savvy social media intern.
for sure.
Right. Anyway, getting back to the album, in doing research for this, I was kind of like shocked to see just how much musical acumen was behind this. I mean, obviously I mentioned at the beginning, Hulk has his fingerprints all over it and he was a bassist at one point. But a sizable portion of this was produced and written by Jimmy Hart and J.J. Maguire, who often worked together to compose theme songs for other wrestlers in the WWF stable. People like Jimmy Snuka, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Dusty Rhodes, and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Well before this album came out, and well before he, well, actually, no, he was in the WWF by this point. But before the album came out, back in the 80s, Jimmy Hart put out an album of novelty rock music in his Mouth of the South, in his Mouth of the South persona in 1985 called Outrageous Conduct. And going back even farther than that, Hart was the vocalist for a 60s teen pop band called The Gentrys, who had a million...
Really?
This is true. They had a million-selling hit with the song Keep On Dancing in 1965.
Wow.
And at various points toured with the Beach Boys and Sonny and Cher.
Wow, it's
Yeah,
super
This
old
is Jimmy,
school
Mouth
teen
of the
pop.
South.
Yeah, Jimmy
He
Hart
has
is a good
voice.
musician.
He has a good voice.
He does.
Although they process it to shit on this
It's
album.
so
It's
weird.
so
That's
weird.
true.
He has,
Production
like,
is...
very strange.
Well,
Production's
it doesn't
weird.
help that I think it's not like streaming anywhere except YouTube, right?
right.
Yeah, and there's just that one, like...
It's
not
like
on Spotify. It's
it
not...
definitely sounds like it's been passed around like Napster a few times.
Yeah.
It's pretty low res.
That's where I got all my sound clips from, and I'm pretty sure they're not, like, the highest quality
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
but that's all we had to work with.
That's what we got.
Yeah. I will say before we move on to track number 2, I would absolutely drink out of a coffee mug that bore the mantra of that chorus. When the going gets tough, the tough get rough. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Come on. Let's go.
Yeah, that's
Fit
like
that all in
that's
the
like a
cup.
classic punk riff too. I love that. I think
It
that,
is.
I
It
think
is,
it's a
isn't it?
great song.
I'm telling you,
I love
Got
that.
hey ho right
show
in
this
it.
song.
That is this album's party all the time.
Death Before Dishonor. If you're listening to this, I want to hear
When the going gets tough, the tough gets rough.
just slow it down a little bit so you can two-step to it.
Yeah.
Going
For sure.
get tough.
Oh, boy.
Well,
Yeah.
All right. How do you guys feel about moving on to track number 2?
I'm ready.
Track number 2 may sound a bit familiar to anyone who was alive during the mid-90s and was a wrestling fan. Here's track 2, American Made.
He's American man. He's American man. He's American made. He's American, American made.
Okay, so
I heard he's Canadian.
Whoa. Hot take.
So I completely forgot that the backing vocals of this song were literally just America.
Yep.
Yeah, this song made me very happy. This is a fucking good song.
It's basically America
Is this a good
Fuck
song?
Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Yes, this is America Fuck Yeah.
It sounds like a parody of itself.
Exactly.
It's super cheesy. He's just got the lyric, he wears the heart of his country on his sleeve. First of all, does the Hulk even wear sleeves? Like,
He's got little wristbands, I think.
no, right to bear arms, right?
Pretty much, yeah. This was the entry music during Hulk's time during the WCW, and it's almost certainly there because they couldn't get the rights to Real American.
yeah,
It's okay.
that one-
Absolutely.
It's okay though,
A superior
because
song.
this is basically the same song, just replace Rick Derringer with Jimmy Hart, basically. And
Same
Actually, maybe
difference.
this song is better. Jimmy Hart is good. Jimmy Hart is
Jimmy
good,
Hart
but
Yeah,
can,
he's
can
got-
really.
he sounds
got
like
some
the
pipes.
Journey lead singer, though. Like, I don't know what's going on.
It
with
sounds
his
a little bit
voice.
like Paul Stanley from Kiss.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that's a good
I can
comparison.
hear
It
that.
does
Yikes.
sound like it.
I mean, Kiss and wrestling have a lot in the Venn diagram in common.
Yeah,
For
you know?
sure.
Yeah.
A lot of
Both rely heavily
cross-contamination
on,
there.
like,
Yeah,
Both rely heavily on
contamination
having-
being the key word.
Both rely so heavily on having such a stage presence and
Yeah.
having some performance acumen, you know?
And so much spandex.
Yeah, lots of
Oh,
spandex,
yes.
big hair,
Maybe not
big
some,
egos.
maybe not so many platform boots or WWF coffins.
I don't know.
They have coffin matches in the WWF. I
Yeah.
feel like they
we're,
did.
we're calling you out, Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Come on the podcast.
Yeah, are we gonna add
Gene Simmons.
You can help us review Love Beach.
Gene Simmons is basically Vince McMahon. You know, like
He's the
if,
Vince
if Vince
McMahon
McMahon
of-
was in a band.
Yeah, oh my god.
That's a good comparison. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah.
Oh, Vince
Yeah.
McMahon.
The first thing I noticed about this track, I mean, after all the America, unlike the previous track, which only kind of had Hulk Hogan in it, this one features no Hulk whatsoever.
no Hulk Hogan? No Hulk.
Well, I assume he plays bass on it.
Well, yeah, probably.
Well,
but,
it's sung in the,
I mean,
in the third person, so he's talking about his hero.
American
that's probably true. But I mean, just figure like, you know, you're a kid during
He's
that's alive
getting
during that.
outsourced to AT pretty soon. Whoops.
Just imagine you're a kid alive during that time. You're a big wrestling fan. Like maybe you caught Hulk Hogan during the early 90s and that sort of stuff. And you pick this album up. Wouldn't you kind of expect every track to have Hulk Hogan on it?
I mean, he's on the cover. It's called Hulk Rules. Yeah, I expected more Hulk Hogan.
I don't know.
For sure.
I expect more wrestling boots.
I mean,
Dancing
that's,
That's why people are buying the album.
Sentient boots just like flopping around the stage.
that's the name of the band. What more do you want? What more could you possibly want?
Fantastic.
It's pretty one note, but man, it's a chest pumping note,
It's
right?
one hell of a note.
Yeah, I
it is
dig
one
it. This
note.
song is badass. It's like
No,
it's badass. What?
I still
It's
think
got-
it's cheesy as hell.
It's got,
I agree. It
these
is very
dope, it's got
cheesy.
riffs. It's got soaring vocals, lyrics about America. It's got some tasty leads.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
You know
this
what?
is
with
like
Mike
this
on
is like
one.
an eagle, like a T-shirt with like an eagle in front of the Twin Towers, like at Walmart.
This is what the darkness was trying to be.
Really,
I don't know. I don't
know. Never mind.
I don't think the
I'll
darkness
walk
were
that
trying to
back.
hide their Britishness.
walk it
Yeah.
right on back.
All right.
Oh boy.
Very true.
I don't know. It was a little bit though. This is like,
Either way, it's-
pretty
Yeah, the
quintessential.
darkness were really trying to be American made. That was kind of the goal, right?
I just mean I don't know.
Regardless
I
of
know
what
what
we
you
all
mean,
have
though,
to say,
like that
the
kind of like irony.
Yeah.
Anthemic, ironic,
Yeah.
but like, I don't
camp
think
value.
this was ironic. I think cocaine. You kind of lose irony the more cocaine you inhale.
I think this
I think
is.
it's an inverse proportion.
I think this is perfectly in line with the kayfabe version of Jimmy Hart. Like this is what
Right.
this is the music his wrestling persona would make.
Right, that's true.
Also, keep in mind that, I mean, this charted on the kids' albums chart, so ostensibly this was made, like, specifically, like, this is the Hulk Hogan album for kids to listen to.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, well, and
why,
the next-
why would you be ironic with that? That kind of goes out the window.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
true.
Yeah,
No, they don't get
that's.
it.
I mean, the next song actually definitely proves that
Yeah.
point.
This is
Shall
like a
we,
shitty
man, this
birthday
next-
present.
Yeah,
The CD.
I mean,
And the
yeah.
kid didn't like this this song at all because it sounds like dad rock, especially by 1995.
Yeah, it is so dated.
Yeah.
It is so not 1995. Like this is like when like Touch Me, Hold Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me, Hold Me, Throw Me by fucking U2 came out. This is when Bullet with Butterfly Wings came out. You know, like...
Yeah, the drums are very, like, late 80s, like, really big and,
there's a
like,
lot of
heavy on the
synths,
room.
and then, like, it gets... and as you
Hope you don't
said,
mind
it
if I
goes
pop a brew
country.
down.
It's like a... It's
I've actually got some stuff to say about, it sounding out of date on the next track.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Why don't
let's...
you,
Same.
Why don't you cue that one
Yeah.
up?
Hard same on that one.
hard same.
Track number 3, titled Hulkster's Back.
I was born, I was bred, I was southern then. Got a crazy idea running through my head. California is a place that I had to be. Venice Beach in the pit really set me free. Oh yeah.
Python, baby. Would you look at that? Hey, check out the Python, baby. The Hulkster's back.
Kind of a left field there. After two tracks of dad rock, we're greeted to Fat Boys style 80s hip hop.
Did Johnny Kemp step in and, like,
no
produce this
explanation
track?
whatsoever.
This is what Hulk Hogan thought rap was.
Oh, my God, dude.
Well, it sounds like New Jack Swing, but, like...
No, this
No.
is no.
But, like,
Stop
you know-
it! Stop it! Don't. Yeah, keep New
Don't-
Jack Swing's name out your mouth.
All right,
like
I'm
this
sorry,
is.
I'm sorry.
This is so. He is rapping about prayers and vitamins on this fucking song.
That was
like
his whole thing.
training prayers and vitamins. Training prayers. And they just trying out phrases for a new Hulk action figure. Like you
No,
just
that
press
was his
them on
whole
the-
thing. He always said, "Say your prayers and take your vitamins." That was his whole thing.
Yeah, well.
We all know what his vitamins were.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, that's what I'm saying. And also, what is check out the pipe? Oh, that's his
that's what he
fucking.
calls
biceps, baby.
Oh God! All
Song
right.
kind of has a dual meaning to it because, like, last
It's not
track,
his dick.
last track had no Hulk Hogan singing, and now he's doing all of the singing.
Oh,
Too-
he's all
too
over
much
this
Hulk
one.
Hogan.
I feel like
He's flowing.
this
I was
is
bored.
this song. I feel like if you combine this song with the first two songs, you get the genesis of the Robbie Road Steamer persona. He had the Mouth of the South Jimmy Hart at
yeah.
his reunion show that he did a couple
Yeah,
years
it's
ago.
true.
On stage with him.
And he was pals with China.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think
boy, oh
this
boy.
is where Robbie Road Steamer was born.
Yeah.
Was Rob Patillo listening to this album? Rob, hit us up if we're wrong. Let us
Yeah.
know.
Rob, yeah.
Come back to Massachusetts and be on the podcast.
Yes, I would
Please.
love that.
Oh, please do.
You can help us review Love Beach.
Oh.
Someone's got to review fucking Love Beach at some point. When are we going to
we'll
do
get
that?
to it.
We'll get to it.
I mean, not anytime soon, so we can keep making that running joke. But
You guys are gonna do Love Beach and not Reworks.
what? Sorry.
Reworks the
remixes.
Emerson Lake and Palmer remix album.
Ooh, that's...
What? There's an Emerson Lake and Palmer remix album.
It's 3
Yeah.
discs.
Oh my god.
Three discs too many.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We're somehow planning to do that on our show.
Oh boy.
I don't know. We might switch to Love Beach.
Oh
Combine
boy,
the fucking sheer pointlessness of a remix album with the like.
I don't even know. It's
sheer
like actually
pretension,
too
overblown
sad.
pretension of prog rock.
But then Homeboy like killed himself, so like kind of sad.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's rough.
We should
Sorry,
have, we
kind
should
of
have
a
Joel
bummer.
on to review Love Beach.
I was thinking that too.
Our friend Joel Simkis, who's in the band Butterscott, one of their album covers is literally just Love Beach with their heads taped over the...
I feel like that makes them experts, probably.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
probably.
That's very
And
tight.
Joel's probably got some good knowledge about music in general that he
Yeah.
could share.
Absolutely. Yeah, check them out on Facebook.
Yeah.
Anyway, getting back to Hulkster's Back,
Getting it back.
there's something profoundly funny about how dated the album sounds, and I don't even mean from a 2010s perspective, because this would have sounded dated as far back as 1995 when it was released.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already kind of like gone over that, but
No, this was when
1995 was the year of albums like Liquid Swords by Jizza, Only Built for Cuban Links by Raekwon, Sitting on Chrome by Master Ace.
And
The
then we get
Infamous
this.
by Mobb Deep.
Yeah.
And then
Fucking
we-
the Roots were making music at this point.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
This is what
but
Hulk
then we
Hogan
get the
thought
critical
rap
hip hop.
was.
Yeah, the critical hip hop
This
perspective.
is like the hip hop renaissance.
California was a place that I had to be.
I eat vitamins with my food. Like, dude.
And then the beat is like music from an SNES game. Like
Ah,
it's like
yes.
cool spot music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it sounds
Don't
like
those
a
little
Casio
don't those
keyboard.
little synth twinkles that pop in throughout? Doesn't it just make it sound like like a corporate video that's going to teach you all kinds of stuff
Yeah, I think
about fourth quarter
I
earnings?
absolutely wrote that at one point. Like this just is like it's like a VHS tape that like I don't know. I'll say it later. It was funny.
Let's talk
This
about
is
loss
V-
prevention.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
No, I said, am I at a
Now I'm having all
Always.
kinds of...
This is
Log
actually
your
for a
Red
different.
Books.
It was for a different one but like there are basically all the same, and that's not all the same genre, but all the same in this like super cheery like.
Yeah, I'm starting to have all kinds of flashbacks to that one viral video of the Wendy's training video.
Yes,
with the hip-hop.
yes.
We just talked about
I
that
was
last
thinking,
week.
I
rapping
was
about
thinking of it
Frosties.
like a Christian propaganda VHS from the early '90s, like we love
mean,
God and this is fine.
Like a Heaven's
No,
Gate video.
It does talk about praying a lot in it.
It's funny though that you mentioned that it sounds like the Wendy's video music, because we mentioned on our podcast how the one of the songs from Eddie Murphy's album, How Could It Be,
Yes.
sounded like a song from the Wendy's video, and that album came out
That's
10
right.
years
That's
before
right.
this one.
I just
That
listened
really-
to that episode earlier this week. I must have it like fresh in my head.
No, but that album came out 10 years before this one. Like it's crazy. There's nothing
Yeah,
1995
there's no
about this.
excuse. I will say...
Spider-Land by
ambulance.
Slint is older than this album.
Before we move on to the next one, I'll just say my favorite part of this track is after a while Hulk Hogan just stops rapping altogether and just starts shouting at the listener.
And there's also like, is this the one where there's some
It's closing out, and all of the singers are just going like, "Hey, check out the Pythons," and he's just in the background going like, "Check out the Pythons, brother! What's up, dog?"
And there's also some woman like trying to talk to him that he's just ignoring or
At the
something.
beginning, she goes "wanna nah" or something.
and
right?
she's like, oh my god, or something. Like what?
"Oh my god."
Yeah, she doesn't say wanna nah.
She says
Really,
"wanna nah."
really playing up the whole California thing, because part of his thing was supposed to be he's from California, right?
Right, I guess.
I think so. He's from Georgia in real life, but
Right.
yeah, he did. He had he and Sting in the '80s both had a surfer dude persona, and then Sting became the Crow, and he became like, the NWO Hulk Hogan where he had the mustache, but then he also had a black beard around his mustache.
Oh boy.
That was when that was right after this album came out.
I don't remember the lead
This was
singer
a
of the
big
Police
identity
looking like
crisis.
that.
This was a big moment of reckoning for Hulk Hogan. He was like in a serious identity crisis and looking for like a path forward.
Yeah.
Looking for comfort.
I mean, he got it. He figured out how to revitalize his wrestling career with
this
the whole
was-
NWO
this was
thing.
his,
but at this point, he was still kind of spinning the wheels, I think.
That was his hero's journey moment. That was the meeting with the goddess.
Exactly. Which
You've
would
ever read Hero with a Thousand Faces?
right, Joseph Campbell.
Wait,
Right.
so
But what would that make this album then?
The one before that?
wait, the Hulkster's
We gotta
back.
revisit that book.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's one thing I have to interject real quick. I was just thinking about it. It's really funny to me that the WWF lost to the World Wildlife Federation, like in that legal case. like
That is true.
Like that Panda was just like, no, fuck no. They had really good lawyers, I guess.
That Panda
that's pretty
probably body
amazing.
slammed him.
It's so
Exactly.
crazy how much they've wiped WWF out of existence. Like if you
it
watch
was so ubiquitous.
If you watch any of their videos on YouTube, they cover it up with a WWE logo, like in the corner of the screen. Anytime someone says WWF, they bleep them. Like they blur.
George Lucas
They
this
blur the
shit.
logo.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is like George Lucas, isn't it?
yeah, like what he did to fucking
With the
A New Hope.
walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
yeah, it is. It's the walkie-talkies. They call it "Get the F out."
Ugh.
Get the F, or "Get the F out." Ha.
That seems in poor taste.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move this shit along.
Wrestling isn't known for its high, taste
It is
level.
not highbrow.
What am I saying? All right.
Just gonna say that's kind of part of the aesthetic.
On that note, let's move on to track number 4, titled "Wrestling Boot Traveling Band."
Oh, yeah.
Yes, let's.
I needed some time with the boys, and she needed her time and space. So I'll lay on the beach and get me a tan, and I'll play my music with the boys in the band, and I'll send you a postcard whenever I can. Sincerely, the Wrestling Boot Traveling Band.
Okay, now we've hit a wall.
This kind of sounds like a later era Dan Fogelberg song.
Yeah.
I said this sounded like
This is
made a ro-
Margaritaville.
Yeah,
that
we
too.
made
Jimmy
a wrong
Buffett.
turn somewhere
This
and ended
is-
up in Margaritaville.
I thought we
am
were
on beach time with this song. This is some island living anthem, baby.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we were dining at Pastamania exclusively, and now all of a sudden we're at Margaritaville. What's
The same
happening?
fucking mall.
We had to take a pit
The same
stop.
mall of America.
They're right next to each other
Yeah,
in the Mall of
we,
America.
or no, we rode a
Can we get
roller
some,
coaster from one
They're
to
in the
the
same
other.
food
Can
court.
we get some coconut shrimp with that Hulkaroni?
and we get on down to the Rainforest Cafe.
I want Hulkaroni to be a thing so bad.
It was at Pastamania.
Was it really? It was,
Hulkaroni
you didn't
and
just
cheese.
make that up just now?
No.
I did not make that up. If you go online, you can see pictures of the old Pastamania
There's
menu.
a promo for it.
And
It's hilarious.
in the kids menu, one of the things that you could get was Hulkaroni with cheese for the kids.
You know,
Did it have little pieces of hot dogs cut up in it? Because
I think you could get it with hot dogs.
Hulk
cut up
Hogan
into it.
famously looks like a human hot dog.
Oh boy.
there's actually a documented condition called Pastamania.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Oh man,
But anyway,
pasta
yeah.
manic depression.
Yeah, that's more like it, right?
Yeah.
Am I right, fellas?
There is a lot of mania.
know.
There's a lot of highs and lows on this album. There's a lot of mania and a lot of.
That's true. That's
Well,
very
It
true.
really is.
Is this album just Hulk Hogan having a breakdown?
It might be.
It's a little bit of Jimmy Hart having a breakdown too, because again, I don't think there's any Hulk on this one.
Yeah, that's
Breakdowns
true.
all
This
around.
this track is another one where Hulk Hogan does not sing. It's all Jimmy
wisely.
Hart
I mean,
again.
God, wisely. Jesus.
Jimmy
Singing
Hart.
to a shamelessly synthesized backing track, which sounds like the MIDI version of a Steely Dan song.
Yeah, it's like such a gentle marimba beat on a fucking
Totally.
Hulk Hogan album. Like, what? Who was thinking that was a good idea?
He's basically singing to hold music.
Yes.
What child would enjoy this?
But I feel like the arrangement's okay on this. I don't know.
Jesus.
It's got a key change.
We've really broken you down.
I did notice the key change. You're right. That was quite unprecedented.
It doesn't take a whole lot to write a passable country song, does it? I mean, that's the
not.
impression that I'm getting from listening to some of the straightforward, bordering on dumb lyrics. It's a song about going on vacation,
Yeah, Margaritaville.
and that's it.
It's yeah.
I'm in a band. I'm taking a vacation, just like wrestlers do.
Yeah, yep.
I want to come.
Wrestlers take vacations.
Only
bo-
wrestlers take vacations?
Yes, only wrestlers take vacations.
I mean, that's a
Patrick.
real problem.
It is a real problem. We're not
Hey,
not living in good times, Patrick.
No, we're not. Indeed, we aren't.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Time to become a professional wrestler, I guess.
They only
It's true.
they take a vacation on the like 40 days a year that they're not beating each other up.
Yeah,
WWE actually famously has a super grueling schedule. These guys literally wrestle like 315 days a year or
Wow,
something
That's
crazy.
that's
rough.
crazy.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan got special treatment though because he was the golden boy. The golden hair with hot dog skin.
Yes. All American hot dog man.
I want to go back to what Patrick was saying because you asked what kid would like this album, right?
Right, exactly.
It's like what kid? What? All right, like probably a wrestling fan around this point was like 10 years old or something. Like what
We were-
10-year-old boy? But that's like how old I was.
Yeah,
probably
we
when
were
this
both
came out.
kids when this came out, right? Do you
Yeah.
know anyone who listened to this album?
No,
No.
no, absolutely not.
And I knew wrestling fans too,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
this. What the fuck?
Well, someone had to be buying it in order for it to chart on a Billboard chart.
What did it chart at?
It the highest it reached was number 12 on the kids albums chart.
Probably grandmas that were like, "Oh, little Timmy loves
Hulk Hogan bought-
Hogan."
He bought back all the copies
Yeah, they're all in a
so
landfill.
no one could destroy them.
They were
With the ET game.
some of them probably
Yeah.
turned out to be coasters at Pastamania.
Yeah.
Very well could have been.
Every album has at least one filler track, and this was probably the equivalent for Hulk Rules. No references to Hulk, no references to America, barely any references to wrestling, but plenty of Jimmy Hart playing as Jimmy Buffett.
Well, to be fair, the album is Hulk Hogan and the Wrestling Boot Band.
Yeah, well, and this is
So
how
this
he
was-
chooses
That's
to
an
introduce
interesting
his wrestling boot band.
Yeah,
this is
this
how
is-
he thinks that people are going to fall in love with the wrestling boot band. Like, come on, this is a throwaway. This is
basically the opening track to Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Sergeant
We hope
Pepper's
that you enjoy
Lonely
the show.
Wrestling Boot Traveling
heard
Band.
It, you heard it here, folks. You heard it here, folks. Mike Dunn, co-host of Make It Stop podcast,
Oh, no.
thinks Hulk Rules is on par with Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Exactly. Sergeant Slaughter's
put it in-
wrestling boot traveling band.
Sgt. Slaughter. Where'd that come from?
That's great.
He was
Another wrestler.
he's not a
I
wrestler.
know, but we weren't even talking about him.
I don't know.
was the
He's the only wrestling sergeant that I think ever existed.
That's probably true. He was also a G.I. Joe.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's the only
Was
one
he
who crossed over into G.I. Joe.
So he was a wrestler first before a G.I. Joe.
I think so.
Okay.
Hashtag wrestler or G.I. Joe.
Before we do actually move on, just if you go on YouTube and just look up Cobra Commander screaming, there's a video that's just one long montage of different clips of Cobra Commander just screaming at people, and it is one of my favorite things ever. It's it'll just be like, get out! Get out! And then cut to another clip of him going like, how dare you! Just shooting at a screen. And it's just that for 8 whole minutes.
I gotta check that out.
That's amazing.
I would love to listen to a black metal band with Cobra Commander as the singer. If they just took
A Cobra
clips.
Commander themed band.
Yeah, if they just took.
Oh my god, that could be the G.I. Joe equivalent of Oakley Dokley.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
I like
black
that.
metal.
I like that idea.
With Cobra Commander lines from G.I. Joe as all the lyrics in that voice.
Yeah.
Just use the clips from the video you were just talking about, honestly.
I like
you,
that. I
that
like
novelty
that.
band circuit. That's
So
that's
that's
a great
something
that's a
else.
great gig to be in.
It's the only way to make money these days other than to do butt rock.
Yeah, nobody wants to.
Or
nobody
open
wants to see
pasta
original
restaurants at
music
the Mall of
anymore.
America.
Exactly. All of them recession proof for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's move on to track number 5, which is almost certainly not recession proof. This is
yeah.
this track is called "Bad to the Bone," and it's not a George Thorogood cover. Just throwing that out there.
Unfortunately.
Turn up the music 'cause we wanna hear it loud. The girls all over, some boys night out. 'Cause we're bad, bad, bad. To the bone. To the bone.
Another Jimmy Hart fronted song.
You really
where
hear
he's
that bass in
duetting
this
with
song.
a motorcycle.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love any song that starts with a motorcycle revving and ends with a motorcycle driving away.
That's
Yeah,
that's a
dude,
good song.
I wrote that the motorcycle is definitely the most intimidating part of the song. How bad to the bone? Motorcycle revving for over 10 seconds bad.
Did they not?
really make the point that I have a motorcycle?
There's a motorcycle.
Did they not know that there was already another song called "Bad to the Bone"?
They're blissfully unaware.
I mean, it's like Heather was saying, cocaine does interesting things.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true.
Vince McMahon didn't know what a burrito was.
But he seriously
what?
did what?
That's a thing.
That is
Look it
such a
up.
non sequitur,
Wow.
but
That's such a weird
What?
thing
These
to not be
wrestlers
familiar
are a
with.
little isolated from reality. You know what I mean? They're on the
Wow.
road. They're a traveling
That's
band.
terrifying.
wow, maybe this is his breakdown.
Maybe he
Maybe,
didn't
maybe.
know.
maybe he's having a breakdown.
Well,
Who's
he's
having
not
the
though
breakdown,
because he's
though?
not on this song.
Who's
Yeah,
having the
that's true.
breakdown, though? Hulk, Jimmy Hart, or Vince McMahon?
or us.
Just Jimmy Hart,
Hart.
apparently.
Wait, so who's
How
saying
can we
this?
be having a breakdown when we're laughing so much?
That's true.
Crazy people don't laugh.
I think they literally call that being hysterical.
I don't think that.
Being Hulkamaniacal.
Yes,
Hulkamaniacal.
Hulkamania is actually a disorder, and
There's
he
a
was
real
crying. This was his cry for help.
Yeah.
So
I'm
clearly,
getting Hulkamanic.
so I guess every time he was saying Hulkamania is coming for you, brother, that wasn't a call
That
to
was
arms.
mental illness.
That was a PSA.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Poor guy. See, I that's what I was getting from this record too. That's what
that's the
I can't be
takeaway.
too harsh on it.
Did you guys get a little bit of Rick Rubin era hip hop vibe, like early Beastie Boys sort of thing with this?
Maybe
What?
maybe from the drums.
Yeah, the drums,
drums-
were really big in late '80s.
and
sounding.
the guitars too.
Very reverb heavy.
Oh, we're talking "Fight for Your Right to Party."
Yeah,
No
that
Sleep
era.
to Brooklyn.
I thought it was really thin and tinny, the mixing. It also could have just been
I
that
think
we
it's
were
the
listening to
YouTube
it off
rip,
of
too.
YouTube, obviously, and not
Yeah.
paying for the shit. But
I don't know that it was that much.
Maybe it would have
better.
sounded better if we found a pristine copy, but where are we going to find one of those?
Yeah, it's not on. It's not on.
not a lot of
streaming
people.
Either
services.
way, this is the least dangerous sounding song
Yeah,
ever.
it's-
Bad to the bone. What?
The best thing that I can say about this song is that it's certainly competent.
It happened.
It's got
over.
a solo in it, right? It's got
I
a
mean,
It
solo.
does.
I guess it's appropriate that Hulk.
Yeah,
Hart,
he has some anthemic like '90s wrestler power chords on this.
I guess it's kind of appropriate that Hulk and Hart and company aren't more current with their song selection in the mid '90s. I mean, would you want to hear Hulk and Jimmy Hart's take on grunge music?
That would be
Be butt rock.
terrifying.
That would actually be Hinder.
Okay, that's
post grunge.
Okay,
that was
fair point to
Hinder.
that. Fair enough.
One thing I noticed, did Hulk play bass on this song?
I think he played bass on all of the tracks.
Yeah, I mean, I could hear it this time.
all the
He's
tracks
fucking rocking.
that had bass.
He's
in it
actually
anyway.
he's a very it's like Bruce Willis on Return of Bruno. He was a good harmonica player.
Yeah.
It's still the songs were trash, but like he was fine at harmonica. He was confident. And Hulk Hogan's good at bass, and some of these songs are great, and some of them are just completely so confusing.
I just love it so far. It's so fucking weird. It's so
very
all over
earnest.
the place.
It's
Like,
very earnest.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane.
Ridiculous, and it does that
bombastic.
very well.
Yeah, it's very self-aware in how...
I'm not
I
sure
don't
if it
think
was.
so at all.
I don't think so.
I think it's
No?
way over the top and like silly and campy, and the way that wrestling is. And the whole point of wrestling is not to be self-aware. Like you, and I
Yeah,
think
I
that's
guess
what, I
you're
think that's
right.
what he does. Like he's a performer. They're all performers, and they're performing these like ridiculous, characters singing these absurd songs like "Bad to the Bone," with motorcycle revving in the background.
Do you remember the 3-man band gimmick, Heather?
Yes, yeah.
This is like if the 3-man band
actually made
actually
an
made
album.
an album. This is what it would be like. That was a gimmick from a few years back. There was some wrestlers.
Oh.
They called the 3-man band, and they had a theme song. It was like, "We're the 3-man band," and they would come out. They would, they had like instruments, and they would like try to do a song, and they would just get beat down. They were
And made
like,
fun of,
jobbers,
yeah.
made fun of. Yeah.
So they weren't like a competent group of wrestlers.
No, but this is what their music would sound like, I think.
But
All
Hulk
right.
gets a pass because
Hulk
he's
gets
Hulk.
a pass.
He is. He's
Yeah, like I said at the top, how are we supposed to review this? I mean, we're doing an okay job so far, I feel
Yeah.
like, but
We're talking
still.
about it.
We're certainly doing that.
We're playing the clips and talking about it. That's literally all we have to do.
That's true.
That's
We-
what we do for this fucking show.
You know what's crazy to think about is Ted Turner probably listened to this album.
On
Thinks that this landed on his desk.
Yeah, I think so.
on,
'cause
on Hulkster's
he owns-
back, he actually challenges Ted Turner to an arm wrestling match. During the part where he's just shouting at people, he just goes, "Ted Turner, you want to arm wrestle?"
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
and
that's
which
right.
song?
Hulkster's back.
Really?
Yeah, that's right. That's
Oh
right.
shit! Yeah, so he definitely listened to this album, and Hulk was probably like, "Listen closely to this part of this song,
Brother.
brother, dude."
And then Ted Turner sicks some of his fucking buffalo on him. There's a giant buffalo farm, right?
Yeah, he doesn't release the hounds.
You saw
he
that.
releases
You
the
saw that
buffalo.
Conan sketch. I take it.
Yeah. Well, didn't he he single-handedly repopulated the buffalo population of U.S. from
Wow, I
endangered
didn't know that.
to
What?
That's amazing.
Shouts out
don't
Ted
take my
Turner.
word for it. I'll apologize next week if this isn't true. But
I
that's-
thought they were all still dead.
I mean,
no, buffalo meat is huge right now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What am I thinking?
It's been he paid to
maybe you're thinking of bison.
but it's the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah, bison's the same
derp.
thing. Bison, buffalo. But yeah, I mean, they were endangered for some time, and then Ted Turner fucking had a giant
Wow.
buffalo farm because
And then he went home and listened
That's
to
something.
Hulk Rules.
and then he decided it's not worth it anymore. Throw it all away. He got me good.
He was bulking up his biceps on bison meat, man.
Oh, yeah, rich
he
in
was
iron.
ready to go.
some good omega-3 fatty
Eat your
acids.
bison. Take your vitamins.
Omega
With the
3s.
training and the preying on the bison meat.
What if this whole album was just one big con in order to sell bison burgers?
What if?
There are layers here that could not begin to unpeel.
Speaking of meat, there's this
Go on.
There's this other podcast that I listen to called We Hate Movies, and they were talking about Hulk Hogan at one point. But I guess there's a sex tape or sex video
Yep.
of Hulk Hogan out there, and
Yes. He
it's
sued Gawker over it. Gawker was destroyed by this video.
Yeah.
But I guess at one point he's like, ugh, too much pork.
I gotta watch this sex tape, man.
God, I do
It's him-
not want it.
It's him banging
That
his...
makes you want to watch this sex tape. That line.
No, so much. It's him banging his best friend's wife
Oh my-
while
oh my
a
God.
song by his
Bubba
daughter
the Love
plays.
Sponge, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Bubba the Love Sponge's wife. And he's listening to a song by his daughter while he's in the act.
Brooke
Oh
Hogan.
man, that poor daughter.
Yeah.
That was-
Anyway,
Us.
this
poor
is,
us.
this is a little bit, what was that thing? It's the little bit of the fappening style, because I don't think that he consented to this tape even being made. Someone like put a hidden camera in his room or something, and then just sold it to Gawker.
Oh boy.
And then Gawker got sued.
Anyway, I want to know where he was at where he ate all that pork.
That's a
He
real.
had,
That's
he
a
had
real
another
story
restaurant
here.
after Pastamania, I think.
Porkamania?
I can't remember what the name of it was, but
It
maybe
had to have been Porkamania.
I mean, that was the name of the video,
yeah.
too.
Let's just assume it was Porkamania for now, because anything else would just disappoint us. Brooke Hogan, she had an album.
She did.
That might be something we have to cover.
Nope.
Like father, like
Nope.
daughter.
That son fucking, like, basically killed someone, that Tokyo Drifter, right?
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh,
Wait, what?
no.
That
Yeah,
the
I
whole
think so.
like the second season of Hogan Knows Best or whatever it's called was like him and the son like planning out his whole like legal proceedings and like the son was like a Tokyo drifter and he like fucking
Wait, so Hogan might not know best, actually.
Well, we haven't even
Right.
talked about his whole N-word spiel.
Right. Yeah,
Ooh,
he
man.
is a scumbag, actually. I mean,
And it's-
were you really surprised? I mean, look at this guy. Listen to him.
It's gonna feel like extra uncomfortable to hear the song that Linda Balea sings on later too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one is extremely uncomfortable. Should we go to the...
we should-
no, we gotta do I Want to Be a Hulkamania.
That's what I'm saying.
there's-
I want to be go to the next one.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's like...
yes.
there's-
Do you all want to be a Hulkamaniac too? Because you have no choice in the matter.
Well,
ready.
I
love
am,
this song.
I'm ready. Oh, God.
Play it.
Positive thoughts and positive deeds. These are the things that make you succeed. Always be good to your family and friends. They're the only ones that'll be there in the end.
Like,
Yep.
that's definitely a fucking Christian, like, children's, like,
what
tape.
the fuck is
Well, it's
happening
weird
right
because-
now?
I think enough time has passed that we can do another genre jump. I mean, we've covered Hades hair metal, hip hop, Gulf and Western music, and now we seem to be in Duran Duran style 80s new wave dance territory.
I was
I
It's
don't
so
even
weird.
know.
I was thinking Shaka Khan or like
Oh, you're so kind. No, this is like
No.
it's just a dum, 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 dum. Come on
Okay.
now.
It
This is-
alternates because the
Patrick,
chorus is so corny.
Oh my
You'll
God.
appreciate this, Patrick. In my notes, I have this sounds like they dug up the backing track from our good friend Al Jorgensen's dumpster. Like it was a synth pop song that even early '80s Ministry had to say no to.
Well, I think it alternates sort of because the chorus is this very corny.
Yeah, the chorus is-
It is.
dull and
It's like
monotonous droning.
It's like an arobics video.
yeah, it's very
really?
childish.
But then,
I got more like a cult indoctrination video.
Yeah.
yeah,
for sure, for sure.
Heather was saying like a Christian children's
yeah, the
song,
Heaven's Gate,
like a
it's-
salty video.
Yes, exactly. Salty songs for little
Salty
praisers.
songs for little
Shout out
praisers.
to Salty.
Check it out. But I think during the verses, it sounds like fucking West End Girls by the Pet Shop Boys.
Oh my God, it does.
Yeah, oh my god.
I never even thought of that, but it totally does. Oh wow.
That's
That's crazy. He's doing the exact, and also like that like Streets of Rage 2 beat in the background.
Oh, I know.
Streets of Rage 2. Oh boy. Now Heather, I have a question for you.
Yes.
You engage in the art of hippings and hoppings. Maybe you have an opinion on this. How does Hulk Hogan's rapping measure up compared to, say, I don't know, Hesta Prynne?
Oh.
I listened to your show.
Yeah. Hesta Prynne makes me a lot angrier, and now I'm like examining the layers as to why. I think this is extremely cheesy, but it's not abusive. Like
I think it is disrespecting what
it is
what rap
disrespecting
is.
hip hop.
Like,
It is worse. I would say it is worse because it's more offbeat. And it's but they're
But
so
they should
confident,
know better.
too. They should know
Hulk
better.
Hogan I would not expect to know
Right.
better. I mean, says the N-word.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
that being,
Hesta Prynne should.
Does that make it okay though?
Hesta Prynne's shit is too close to this.
Yeah.
I mean, you say that, but have Northern State ever written a rap song about going swimming with a buddy?
yeah, I mean, at least
I wrote
he's-
that line down
I
too.
did too. We
Always
all
go
did.
swimming with the buddy.
like, yeah. At least, but he's trying to be educational. He's trying to do something positive.
That's true.
It's really bad. Like,
I would argue that Northern State is also trying to be educational.
I mean,
Are they?
In a really patronizing
I guess
sort of
so, in
way.
the most ass way possible.
Yeah.
yeah, they're not aiming it towards children. at least. So does that make it worse? I don't know. It's bad. It's really bad. They're all bad.
Yeah.
That's my final statement on the matter.
Hulk's
It's not
fundamentals need more work than Hesta's. I'll say
good. Yeah,
that.
I said for this song, I said this is the lamest song I've maybe ever heard in my life. So those of you who think this is great,
I think it's hilarious. This is the funniest.
It is hilarious.
No, this is the second funniest song. I'm sorry. I forgot about the fucking song.
Oh, don't give it away.
Let's not. We won't give it away.
Gotta draw the
jeez.
tension out.
Yeah.
Related to your Hester Prynne situation, 'cause I think I saw that too. It would be pretty great if Hulk Hogan commented on one of our
Oh
posts.
wow!
Oh yeah. Should we
add
tag
him?
Hulk Hogan?
Oh man,
It was like,
that
you're
would be
digging up
something.
this album 20 years after it came out. Fuck you know.
You gotta realize it was 1995, brother. You're in a different time.
1988, but
It's a different time.
You good boys are about to get gawkered, brother. We got to go on.
Oh shit! What are we doing? We're gonna get shut down.
No, it's
fine.
They
It's
did
over.
wait. They put an unsanctioned sex tape of his out, or just calling his album that he knows is bad.
Guys,
Bad.
we
We-
made
we
fun
are.
of Pastamania. That's just as bad.
But I
true.
would actually probably patronize Pastamania. Let's be real.
Yeah,
I mean, at least once.
At least once. Yeah, you got to swing through the Mall of
I
America.
want to go to Porkamania.
That actually sounds great.
That
like,
does sound great. That stick to your wheelhouse.
Try the hot dogs. They're harvested straight from my biceps.
They're made from,
Peel and eat.
they're made from, you guessed it, more pork. Everything is pork.
Before we hop on to the next track, I just wanted to share this one choice lyric. Can you feel the music? Can you feel the beat? You don't need drugs to move your feet. When the dealer tries to push on you, just tell him what you're gonna do.
And what?
He never tells us what to do.
Then
do
he
you
says, "I
want to
want to
do?"
be a Hulkamaniac," right? That's what you tell the drug dealer.
Yeah, you just say, "I want to be a Hulkamania."
You gotta sing it like that.
Yeah, the little drummer boy stance. Like what?
Okay, drug dealer, listen up. I want to be a punch, punch, punch.
I wanna gas the subway. Oh. It is some weird cult indoctrination shit.
It's
I
bad.
want another glass of Kool-Aid.
It's actually Flavor Aid. I should probably.
We love the leader.
Clear it
He is our dad.
The leader is good. The leader is great.
We surrender our will to the leader as of this date.
Dad, after all.
Not our actual biological father because we killed him and harvested his organs.
Try the pork.
This got dark.
Try the pork.
Real dark.
Enjoy your pork. We
Ah,
got pork flakes and pork rumps.
that got dark fast.
Pork flakes.
Isn't that
You heard me.
Isn't that
from my
That sounds terrible.
Isn't that basically pork cracklins?
Yeah, it'd be pork rinds. Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't. Yeah, these aren't crackling. They're withered.
These are
They're
like
withered.
cornflakes.
They are post cracklin.
Jesus.
Past their cracklin
boy.
prime.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan similarly passed his crackling prime.
Have fun with my family
Oh,
and
boy.
friends.
We're already like more than halfway through the album.
True.
Yeah, let's
Oh boy.
do this.
Track number 7, Beach Patrol. Let's give this a listen.
Oh wow. Yep.
We were cruising down the beach, checking out the action. Had my radio rocking to a heavy metal station, putting on some shades, trying to catch some rays. When I caught the lifeguard messing with my baby.
Yes.
Now, let me tell you guys something. I don't know what you guys think, but if there's two things I look for in my wrestler turned rapper / rocker glamour projects, it's these. Obviously sampled and pitch shifted guitar chords that sound like they came from a Sega Genesis game. And guys in their early 40s going, whoop, there it is.
Yeah, dude. Like, okay, this
That
is
whole rant at the end.
this is worse and possibly more appropriative than Northern State, but I like it more. So what does that say about me? That's the problem.
No songs about beating up lifeguards.
That's true.
That's true. The song's
I
about
was
going
walking
to
down the beach and looking for some action, and my radio set on a rap rock station. Saw a girl in trouble in a sticky situation. She wanted me to give her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Wow!
I don't imagine
Slapping
that,
bass.
I don't imagine that word comes up in a lot of hip hop songs.
Mouth,
Resuscitation, just in general.
because you would know better.
Yeah, I tend to imagine that Hulk Hogan must be really self-conscious during the rap songs because most of them, like the last one, It just ends with him abandoning rapping completely and just sort of free associating about random shit.
Yeah, no, he said whoop, there it is, but he goes, in addition to that, he goes, whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Sock it to me, baby. Sock it to me, homeboy.
Sock it to me, homeboy.
That's what he fucking says.
That's like two different like eras of slang happening at once.
Not your slang to sling either. Ugh,
He does go.
dumb.
He does go whoop whoop at one point. So who knows? Maybe he
Secret Juggalo?
Maybe he foresaw the Juggalos.
Yeah. No, this was after this was.
I mean, Juggalos love
post-ICP,
Hulk Hogan, I'm sure, right? Like,
Good.
There had
Juggalos
been
love
The first
wrestling.
album was he like 93?
Yeah, there's been at least 2 Joker cards at this point, I think, right?
Yeah.
When this album came
No
out.
Malenkos yet.
No Malenko yet.
We're just gearing up for
Jesus.
the great
We
one.
were,
You guys are gonna do the Great Malenko? Can I tell you guys something?
I
Yes.
mean, I know that album is, like, lots of people don't think it's nearly that bad, but I have a feeling that whole thing is just going to be us examining Insane Clown Posse and Juggalos more than the album itself.
Yeah, that's an anthropological study, yeah.
I think
like-
it's worth to do like the whole culture and discography in general.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say, if Hulk Hogan and the Wrestling Boot Band were ever to get back together, that reunion, I can almost guarantee, would take place at a gathering of the Juggalos.
It ought to. They would love it. They would
yes,
love
absolutely.
It's true.
it. The Juggalos are huge into wrestling. The ICP was in the
We're
WWF.
wrestlers, yeah.
Yeah,
that
they-
makes sense.
They
They were-
basically have their own, like, little amateur wrestling league, don't they?
Yeah, the Juggalo something wrestling, whatever.
We're not Juggalos.
They have
so.
a lot of the same like rhythms as wrestlers, as rappers. They're just sort of, but like in their showiness.
Yeah, they're living an over the top, ridiculous, dumb persona.
Very
just like
dumb.
every wrestler
Very
is, you know?
dumb.
It's in the same wheelhouse. I loved the Great Malenko when I was in 6th grade, though. I'm
Oh,
going to tell you
wow.
that. That's what I was about to.
Wow, that's a lot to say
I thought-
on a recording.
The shit's kind of catchy.
I thought,
I will give it
no.
that.
You heard
I
it
thought
right here,
the
folks.
ICP.
You all heard it right here. Mike Dunn,
Secret Juggalo.
co-host of Make It Stop podcast, thinks Hulk rules, is on par with Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band,
Also,
and Secret Juggalo.
I take nothing back.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were actually
This
just
is-
talking about that in our last episode with our friend Jim Schultz, big ICP fan.
Yeah.
Like in real, like still.
No, he's not really.
Oh, okay.
But we call him that.
Only when he's drunk, apparently.
I think it's
I mean,
acceptable to like
he
ICP
didn't-
when you're 13 years old. Come on.
And
He
when you're
didn't
drunk.
have to insist that we were wrong to call him a fan of ICP in the last episode, but now that he has, we're going to keep doing it. So here's what's listed on Discogs under the credits section for Hulk Rules. Bass vocals, Hulk Hogan. Guitar, keyboards, vocals, bass, and drums, J.J. McGuire. Vocals, percussion, Linda Balea. Vocals, percussion, Jimmy Hart. No word on who's responsible for all the superfluous record scratches bookending the track.
Yeah, there's a
Right.
lot of
And also-
mystery about
That's
this.
DJ Lethal. Taking a break from House of Pain. Or Limp Bizkit.
Boop, boop, boop.
DJ High Tech before he hooked up with Deont Ward.
So, wait, was that like Linda doing the like those
Yeah, the
hooky
backing.
vocals?
That was
don't
what
know.
I was going to
Yeah,
say.
that was
chorus-
Linda. That was Linda.
That's
Really?
I'm pretty
no,
sure that's
that
Linda.
that was
I
not
don't
Linda.
know.
That
does-
was like a that was
I
like
don't
a
know
chorus.
if that was her.
That was like a kind of like
Oh,
a
you're talking about
gospel-y.
you're talking about like
Yeah.
we want a party.
Yeah,
That's not her.
That's not her.
Okay, good.
That's what
Sorry.
I'm saying.
I'm sure she
Where's-
did backing vocals, but I don't think, like, we're going to listen to the track. The next track has her on vocals, and
Ooh, yeah.
I mean,
boy does it.
after you hear it, I think you'll agree that those were probably session vocalists.
Hey, you guys mentioned Deont Ward. Do you guys like Deont Ward?
We're
Just mixed opinions
I'm
for me.
like thoroughly unfamiliar with their work.
Heather and I hated Deont Ward. I still kind of hate Deont Ward, but I will say we saw them live at a festival and it was fucking dope.
really.
Heather doesn't want to admit to it.
Thank you for derailing this conversation with a random.
I mean,
Deont
we're all
word,
about derailing the
That's
conversation.
true. Railing.
I'm curious.
I don't know.
Anyway, let's.
Anyway,
Sorry.
we just teased it a moment ago, so let's dive right into track number 8, titled "Hulk's the One."
Ooh, should we?
Make you right. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.
That's wild.
Again, I'm talking about like 1988.
We both had the same
Yeah.
note, didn't we?
Pretty much.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I mean,
That-
it's a great synth line. Not gonna but it's that song. Now that you mention it.
We are, of course, talking about.
You're never going to unhear that.
Yep.
We are, of course, talking about Rick Astley's "Never Gonna Give You Up."
Yes.
Correct.
As everyone does.
Which came out in 1988.
Right. Exactly. Well put.
He's going to be playing at the House of Blues this year.
Oh, he's doing fine.
He's not playing pins with Buckcherry.
Yeah. Jesus.
Reference to another podcast.
Yeah, check it out.
Go check out the episode. Make it stop.
He's gonna rickroll him and not actually show up.
Yeah, go to youtube.com/xkg17. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know that. I feel like there are definitely people out there who have memorized the URL to
Never going to give
Never
you up.
Gonna Give You Up, just to have it ready to go whenever.
Oh, boy.
Yikes.
So we're on to track 8. Hulk's the one.
We
and
sure are.
No Hulk on it. No Hulk singing.
Nope.
Because I guess the album decided we were having too much fun.
This is Linda, though. This is Linda Balea.
Yeah, this
It
is
is.
definitely
It features Hogan's then wife, Linda Balea, who was previously only on backup vocals, now taking the lead, singing a hymnal of devotion to her then husband, which once again ties back into the whole cult indoctrination thing from Hulkamania.
Yeah,
But
well,
that's her on lead vocals.
Or
Yeah.
maybe not, though, because she sounds bored as hell singing
Yeah,
about
she-
her savior.
No, this song is really actually fucked up. Like, some of the lyrics are like,
Yeah.
my friends all tell me you're bad to the bone, please be bad to me. And like, my friends all tell me I'm under your spell, that I'm too blind to see.
Yeah, here-
You come on so strong and then you are gone, you turn the lights out on me. Like, that is a pretty brutal.
Yeah,
You're
she
his
doesn't have
wife.
anything nice to say
You're
about
his
him.
wife, and it sounds super manipulative and like
It
fucked
does.
up. That's not really the kind
Actually-
of family-friendly vibe that he's like presenting on the rest of the album.
But he's obviously clueless to the fucking shade she's throwing at him, too, to have this on the album.
I actually had a choice lyric that I wanted to share that ties into that. You had me hooked from the very first look. You've got me down on my knees. When you turned on the charm, I heard the alarm. I should have called the police.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that is not a love song.
God.
That
Holy
is-
shit,
that
that's a
is-
cry for help.
That is not how you write a love song. It's just not.
Unfortunate implications there.
Hello,
I didn't even
police.
fucking clock that.
Yeah, that's
Hello,
fucked
police. I'm married to Hulk Hogan.
Up. Yeah.
All right, that's probable
and, like,
cause.
if your friends are literally all telling you like not to date this person, like maybe don't date that person. Like you should maybe listen to your fucking friends.
Yeah. And like I said, it sounds extra iffy in light of her divorce from Hogan back in 2007.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if there was like any sort of like abuse allegations or anything like that, but it doesn't. It just feels off.
I think he's just a dickhead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I kind of think she's not that great of a person either. Maybe.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know
Hot
much.
take.
I don't know much about her, so I couldn't say one way or another.
I mean, I would imagine
I guess,
if you were married to Hulk Hogan, like
yeah.
you probably had some
At some
didn't have reservations about certain things.
All right.
Apparently, I haven't watched the sex tape, but apparently he does not have an impressive
Sex?
wang. Yeah.
Thought he had a python,
Yeah, what happened
Those
to
are his
python?
The pythons that's his arms.
big veiny python.
He
no?
did say, he testified that the character Hulk Hogan has an 8-inch dick, but he is Terry Bollea.
That's a strange thing to.
He
Testify?
said that in front of,
In court?
under oath.
Wait, what?
Yes.
How?
Somehow it came up.
Jesus Christ.
Only in a Hulk Hogan legal proceeding.
I presume immediately after that, Randy Savage just like burst in, is just like, "Oh no, I've seen it, brother. Oh yeah."
Randy Savage is unfortunately dead in the
Yeah.
ground at this point.
I will say though, just a quick call to the ghost of Randy Savage. Come on our podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
You can help us
seriously.
review Love Beach.
He could help you review his rap album.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's on the list.
Which is actually a lot, like, say what you will about the Randy Savage rap album, but it is of its time
will.
appropriately as opposed to this album.
Are there
Like,
some like better hands involved?
the beats make sense for the year that it came out, which I think was like 99.
okay.
The most that I could say about it that I know of, at one point he says the line, "I smell a coward. Is that you, Hogan?" And he uses as a diss line the fact that Hulk Hogan was in some shitty movies while he had a cameo in Spider-Man.
Bone saw's ready.
The best part of Spider-Man?
Oh yeah.
My all-time favorite thing about Macho Man Randy Savage, not to derail it again, but that there were all these like anthemic like butt rock songs that all the wrestlers had, and then for just no reason whatsoever, Randy Savage's open entrance music was Pomp and Circumstance.
Yep.
I love that.
He's
It's
graduating.
People had weird themes in the early '80s, and they ended up just keeping them into the era where people had actual real songs.
Oh boy.
I think Jimmy Hart was kind of the one who changed the game for entrance themes.
Yeah.
that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he did do a lot of entrance themes.
Yeah, I
him
think-
and J.J. McGuire.
I think before him, it was people would just kind of have like a just like 2-chord guitar riff or like an old classical song.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Move this along.
Okay. Track number 9. Now,
Oh wow.
let me just say, you are not ready
No.
for this song.
Nobody is.
Can't
You listening-
fucking believe this song.
You listening
is
at-
real.
You listening at home, you're not ready for it.
We're
All
not
of us
ready
in the
for it.
studio, we're not ready for it.
I'm
And we've
certainly
listened
not.
to the album, but we're not ready for it. No
Nope.
one in the world is
Nope.
ready for track number 9, Hulkster, In Heaven.
A friend to the end. I'll see you again.
I wish Hulk's love could bring you back again. You were my friend. I'll see you again.
Nothing like a Dead Kid song on a children's album,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
I'm looking at my notes, and one of the bullet points just says, "Those MIDI trumpets."
Oh my god.
Casio brass.
Wow.
Yeah.
So-
that's some good shit.
That is, but this song, this is so rough because it feels terrible to make fun of it because you know of like what it's about, and it's like this kid
Yeah.
who had like a Make-A-Wish Foundation like wish granted to him to go see Hulk Hogan wrestle, and he was supposed to be in the front row, and then he wasn't there because he died. Which
That's what makes it so weird about trying to, like, legitimately criticize something like this.
it's like,
Yeah.
but it's such a bad song.
Yeah, but his heart's in the right place. So
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
are you
Try to do
supposed
the
to
right
do?
I can't. There's no poignancy to a song that has the word Hulkamaniac in it this many times. I'm sorry.
That's
Well,
him singing, right?
It's all buttressed too.
I was
by,
gonna
like,
ask that. Is that Hulk singing?
He
It
sounds
is.
like
Yeah,
he's
it
like
is.
really trying to make it like sound
no
nice.
session vocalist would sound that stilted and awkward.
He sounds so much different from when he raps. This is his Rob Patillo song.
This is yeah.
It features lyrics like, "I used to tear my shirt, but now you've torn my heart."
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I remember that.
That's the best you could do. That's the best you could do. That's
How
a
can
dead
anyone
kid.
even approach
That's a
commenting on
dead
that?
kid.
Yeah.
We're talking about a dead kid. Like, why? I would not want this associated with me for the rest of my life, even if I was
No.
dead. My dead life. I don't want my dead
As a
life
parent,
attached
imagine
to
being
this
the parent of this dead child and hearing this song.
and having to pretend that it was like
Oh,
so
No,
thank
it's
meaningful.
about, no, it's not about our dead kid now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
my
I think it's
god.
about
Yeah, we never had a kid.
They never had a kid. Oh god.
We had a car. Maybe that's what you're thinking of.
This song is fucking insane.
It's so bad.
What the fuck?
It's so
This
bad.
whole record is fucking insane.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
After listening to this song enough times, the one conclusion that I came to, and I think you all might agree with me 100%, if this track hadn't been made in the mid-90s, I can almost certainly guarantee you that this would have been the basis for a Tim and Eric awesome show sketch.
Absolutely.
This sounds like a Tim and Eric awesome show
Yes.
sketch.
It does, doesn't it?
yeah,
This is
like
Casey and his brother.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And also,
Absolutely.
it also sounds like a "We Are the World" like fucking like recording from like
Totally.
1985.
Yeah,
you know,
except
like,
with one person instead of 100.
yeah,
the whole,
and
like,
it's all Hulk Hogan.
The whole
He's
Tim and Eric comedy aesthetic was basically like shit like this album.
Yeah.
Right.
Like just the like
cringy, like
really
not
bad,
self-aware.
Like, yeah, like just like really trashy, like low budget, like suburban garbage from the mid '90s.
Right.
That's
Right.
like still in existence
That we
to this
love.
day.
That
That we love. Yeah,
that we
it's
love.
I love it.
What a year 1995 was. Clueless came out.
There you go.
Great movie.
And so did this song.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
this
boy.
is like I would use my single Make-A-Wish to go back in time and ensure that this song was never recorded. Like
OK Computer came out 2 years later.
yeah, what? What the fuck?
Oh boy. oh,
I'm
boy.
thoroughly confused and disoriented.
It's insane.
It
listening
is
to this
very
record.
disorienting.
Still better than anything Aerosmith pooped up. Moving on.
This was the year Push came out, right?
I think
Or
that might have
Pump,
been
rather.
that might have been like late 80s.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
Pump
sure.
was
Pump was late 80s, so this was, I was crying when I met
Get a
you.
Grip. It was
Get a
called.
Grip, yeah.
And I
think
I
that
also
was-
just want you to get a grip. Please.
This,
Please.
This wasn't
Stop
lo-
singing Aerosmith. Never do that
However,
again.
this wasn't long far away from I Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
Right.
Oh my
The
goodness.
first song I ever slow danced to.
Oh.
Oh, it was cute, you guys.
That's sweet. That's sweet. I don't remember. I blocked that out of my.
Is it though?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. How
Might
many
have been mine too.
awkward
come to think of it.
boners?
That
Yeah.
sounds like a semi-formal that I got taken.
Semi-boner,
to.
semi-formal. Like,
Oh yeah.
you gotta,
I don't know.
It's
I
real.
went to the semi-formal all 4 years. I was a stud amongst the fucking band geeks.
This was at a bar mitzvah for me.
ooh,
Yeah.
Very nice.
spicy.
Spicy.
I don't know. It's spicier than this fucking song. I'll tell you
This
what.
is very.
That is
This
true.
is mild.
That is
A
true.
13-year-old fucking bar mitzvah is definitely a lot more fucking like. I
lot
get
more,
that he was
yeah.
doing it for the kids, for the people, whatever. But like
For the Hulkamaniacs.
for the Hulkamaniacs, but like even to make the song about the dead kid about you.
Yes,
like
to say it's not that a world has lost a child's life. It's they lost another Hulkamania.
yeah, right. There's
I
just
couldn't save him with my Hulk powers.
yes.
Okay, so this came
Yeah,
out.
he made himself a god. He like he created the equivalency.
Cult indoctrination.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. Before we move on to the next track, just one more thing about death.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Like at
Wishing
this
for
point,
it.
like this is 1995. Like how many dead Hulk Hogan fans do you think there are at this point? Like
Right.
he would have had to write a song about all of them. Like
They're all implicated in
like
this.
statistically, there
Another
must be at least like a couple hundred.
Hulkamaniacs.
Who have more of died?
The world just lost the 97th Hulkamaniac.
How many more have died? Hulkamaniacs or Hulk's contemporaries in the wrestling world?
Oh.
Because
Ooh.
life expectancy for wrestlers from the 80s is not great.
Yikes.
You didn't need to say it though.
You get hit with a fucking metal chair like 9,000 times a year.
Yeah,
like-
wrestling's fucking real.
Yeah, and also all the
Trust and believe.
steroids and cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
And that that creeping Hulkamania setting in.
That Hulkamania that just gets worse by the year.
Yep.
Yeah. It's all
Creeping in.
PSAs. Not a call to arms, it's a PSA.
The world just lost another Hulkamaniac because they succumbed to Hulkamania. This
Yeah.
poor child.
Take Hulkalithium to kind of help balance that out.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Yikes.
And now we're approaching the very end.
Oh.
Track number
It's been
10.
so fun.
Yeah, it feels like kind of a shame to have to leave it now, but nope. It's track number 10, titled Hulk Rules.
And
The title track.
Oh, how he does.
Everybody's talking trash, but he knows they talk is cheap. If you mess with the Hulkster, he'll rearrange your team. Whoa, the Hulkster rules.
And so the album ends as it began, in a cyclical fashion. Another hard rockin' track prominently talking about how Hulkster's on his way to kick your hindquarters.
Is that Hulk Hogan doing that fucking sick slap bass too?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
he
saying.
goes
The
to
bass is
town on the
slapping
bass.
on this
Yeah,
in this song.
He's slapping the bass good.
All this needs, he should have just done a single song with him slapping the bass and Bruno on harmonica, and they could have skipped the whole album's thing, and just
wait,
that would
like,
have been.
like just them, like no
Just them.
guitars, no
Oh, nothing
drums, no
else.
vocals.
This sounds like the worst version of morphine ever. With Hulk Hogan on bass and fucking Bruno on harmonica.
There is this the one with the sax solo in it too?
I think
I
there
don't
is.
remember, but probably.
I think so.
I'll have to.
Oh boy.
I'll have to
There
look
have been
at
a
that.
couple like sax solo, inexplicable sax solos.
What if that was the guy from Morphine on the sax?
That would just make his story all the more sadder.
It would be.
Aw.
This was like
just
95.
like wrestling, entertaining yet sad.
So what if the cure
This
for
is what
pain
Yes
was
came
just
out.
saying your prayers and taking your vitamins?
I know.
That's what Mark Zaneman should have done.
Yeah. What was I gonna
lying to
say
you.
though? This is This is fuck, I don't remember.
It's another track without Hulk on vocals. Once again, Jimmy Hart taking the lead. That means in sum total, you've got 10 tracks on the album. Hulk only appears prominently on half of them.
Yeah.
Again, if you're a kid in the 90s, wouldn't you be pissed off? Because you're basically just buying like half of a Hulk album and half of a J.J. Maguire, Jimmy Hart side project.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Frankenstein's monster. Fart rock, is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's great. That's beautiful.
I don't know, like the fun moments. Yeah, like you were saying, like the kid would latch on to the fact that like Hulk is there, just being like Hulk Hogan and like a fucking cartoon character. And
Yeah,
it's
but
great.
there's not enough of that.
But there's just not enough of that.
Right,
Yeah, like you're
right.
saying, it gets into these fucking like just like way too like overproduced and like overwrought like butt
Yes.
rock, fart rock songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kids want a bunch of songs of
Pre-
Hulk rapping about having muscles on the beach.
Yes.
They don't want to hear
You sound
the wrestling boot traveling band
You
country.
sound so much
Or
like
the
a fat, balding
Margaritaville.
record executive right now. You know what the kids want these days?
It's true.
They want to hit.
Well, we were the kids in 1995. We knew what we wanted, and it wasn't this. Once again, none of us listened to this at all.
Boy. And here's another thing that I thought of. It's really bizarre to make this the final track on the album, because it follows the admittedly botched tearjerker Hulkster in Heaven.
Right.
I mean, isn't that just the biggest case of mood whiplash?
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
is. I can't bounce back from a dead kid to Hulk rules. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
He wanted to pick it back up a bit before it ended.
It's like Hulk couldn't save him, but he rules.
It does.
I don't know. It's not the first case of a record that's kind of done that format where they're like the tearjerker is the second to last, and then like there's just one more kind of.
That's
to,
true,
like kind
but-
of just project you.
I mean,
So
I
you're
guess
saying this is like Hounds of Love.
This is exactly like Hounds of Love, actually. Well,
it's
there's
not.
the like ballads in the middle more.
you heard it here, folks. Mike Dunn of Make It Stop
Oh my
considers
god.
Hulk rules on par with Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Hounds of Love, and is a secret juggler.
Wow.
You heard it here.
Yeah, I could definitely hear the Kate Bush influence all over this album.
It's. I mean, there's a lot of synths on it. You know.
There is, indeed.
If I only could make a deal with God, brother. Get him to swap our places, brother.
Oh, God, I'm just
I'm
picturing...
gonna keep running up that road. I'm gonna keep running up that hill, brother. I'm gonna keep running up that building, brother.
I'm just picturing Hulk Hogan singing Under Ice and how terrifying that would be.
In
Like
the
the-
ice.
The song is already horrifying enough.
Oh, boy.
Because if I only could, I'd make a deal with God, brother. And I'd get him to swap our
But he-
places, Hulkamaniacs.
But he is God, and he wants to
In
swap
the ring
places
at
with the-
Wembley Arena. Hulkster's gonna take on God.
Which he never wrestled at, by the way. We forget
Yeah.
to touch on that.
And he doesn't even know how to. He uses it as a rhyme to like a couple words that like don't even rhyme with it. And
Yeah.
it's like you didn't even like. What are you doing?
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
I'm loving the idea of Hulk Hogan as Kate Bush. You heard it here
right.
first.
Let's wrap this up, folks.
Yep, we've reached the end of the album, so it's time to get into some final thoughts. So,
thoughts.
do you guys consider this a worst of all time album? Why don't we start with you, Patrick?
Absolutely not.
All right, asked and answered.
No, I worst of all time? No. There's definite, like, ironic comedic value to this album. I was cracking up and just enjoyed myself the whole time. And, you know, isn't that what it's all about?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
Right? I absolutely not. I don't think it's fucking awful. It is terrible.
Yep.
But, like, especially after doing that Chris Cornell album last week, which was just so depressing, this was just, like, really refreshing. to,
Yeah.
like,
A breath of fresh
Yeah.
fart rock air.
exactly. 'Cause it was so unpretentious and stupid, and, like, I just thought of, like, what actually went into this, like, in 1995 at the time, like, just, like, picturing myself in that era, like, that this being a new record. I don't know. It's just all very humorous to me.
All right. Heather Mack and Mike Dunn, do you guys consider it a worst of all time album?
It's definitely certainly bad, but it's very entertainingly bad, and it's just like you said, it's unpretentious, it's earnest, you know, and he I guess I could say he did it for the children, so that makes it like, do you want to be a little kinder, or did he really do it just like do a bunch of cocaine and, have this
for the kids.
Yeah, I did it for the kids.
I did it for the Hulkamaniacs.
And also like the angle that he might have been having a nervous breakdown throughout the course of the album.
Yeah, it makes a nice little
Yeah,
side
no, I'm
story.
just kidding. It's bad, but it's fun. So I don't know. Where does that put it? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm with you guys. I think it's definitely bad, but I think it's too enjoyable to
Good time.
say it's worst of all time. The worst albums of all time, you shouldn't be having fun when you listen to them.
Right.
Right.
I've heard albums that just drag you down into a pit of despair.
Yeah.
And this album raised me up. I think I laughed and I
cried?
I cried about the world losing another Hulkamaniac.
Yep, it's true.
And I think it's executed as about as poorly as an album can be executed. It's a huge joke, and I don't know if it was meant to be one. I don't think it was, but it doesn't matter because I'm laughing.
Yeah, and it's like, it's under 30 minutes. Yeah, it like doesn't drag on. It's not like overly produced. Like it's
It sure isn't.
No, it's definitely underly produced.
like. Did any of you guys ever see the Miami Connection?
Yes.
Yes.
It's kind of like that.
Yes.
It's kind of
Yes.
like that.
That's
Where it's just like
so appropriate.
Where it's so there's a sweetness and an earnestness to it that I just can't 100% hate on it because it's just that ridiculous.
Yeah. What do you think?
Do I think it's the worst of all time? My thought is, does it matter? It has a singular purpose in mind that it sets out to achieve. It's not trying to revolutionize the sounds of rock and roll music. It's not trying to make a grand poetic statement. It's trying to make music with Hulk Hogan's name attached to it. And on that level, it succeeds beyond measure. So I guess it could only be considered worst of all time material if you don't have the ability to parse between so bad it's good and just generally bad,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if you don't have those sensibilities, like if you were just someone who like doesn't.
Who just only sees it in like black, white, this is good, this is bad.
Yeah, like, or some people just don't think the joke is that funny.
As someone
Right.
who listens to at least one bad album a week, like because I've decided that's what
To
I'm
ruin
gonna
our
do,
lives.
this album was really refreshing. Like you were saying, I listened to that Chris Cornell album episode at least.
It's a doozy.
And yeah, I mean this is so much lighter and airy, and it's just a delight.
Yeah.
It's really a delight. It's bad, but I love it.
It's really, yeah.
What would you guys say is your favorite or least bad track? Patrick, what was your favorite?
How can I fucking pick? I don't even know. I think I Want to Be a Hulkamaniac just cracked me the fuck up so much. But I think from like a musical standpoint, I guess American Man was like
American Made?
American Made. Sorry, was like I kind of rocked out to. I thought it was pretty fucking stupid fun.
What was your favorite track, Heather?
Man, I don't know. The Hulkster's in the house, like that shit. The first one right off the bat, the one that sounded like a Dictator's track. Like I actually really dug that. If he had gone like full jock rock the entire album, I think it could have worked a lot better.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he was like going for all these like glurgy, over the top, like sappy ballads, like and like weird beach songs. Like I don't know what he was going for with that, but in general. Hulkster's in the house really captures the energy of the
I think
album.
they had a Casio keyboard and they had like the 10 like drum settings, or it was like bossa nova, rock,
Samba.
samba, hip hop. They just like went down and did each one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
What was,
marimba.
What was your favorite song, Mike?
Oh, definitely I Want to Be a Hulkamaniac. I thought that song was
I
fucking...
want to be a
I wanna
That-
be a Hulkamaniac. That plus the Pet Shop Boys vocals. It's the
So
weirdest
weird.
fucking song. It's so out there. That was the I can't believe this whole album is real, but that was the one that really threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
And that's the one that stuck with me. So
Yeah.
The West End town in a dead end world. East End boys and West End girls, brother.
Fantastic.
My favorite, Beach Patrol. I'm not joking. That is the most beautiful train wreck of a song that goes so far off the rails and then somehow manages to jump back onto the rails.
to be run over by the train.
Yes, to run itself over.
Yep.
it's indicative of everything that's just so ridiculous and chaotic about this album, and
Yes.
I love it.
That's such a great way of summing that up. Well,
Absolutely.
well done.
There's really
ridiculous
nothing,
and chaotic.
There's really nothing quite like it.
What would you say is your least favorite track, Pat?
I'm gonna go with I hate to do this to poor Linda, but I gotta go with Hulk's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
about-
it just was kind of boring.
Yeah. How about you, Heather?
Ooh, wrestling boot traveling band or Hulkster in heaven, like hard tie.
How can you like Hulkster in Heaven is too insane to say
Well,
it's the
then
worst,
wrestling
though.
boot traveling band.
What's your least favorite, Mike?
It's also wrestling boot traveling
yeah,
band.
yeah.
It's pretty
That's the
bad.
right answer.
It's I don't like Jimmy Buffett, so why would I like that song? Because it's literally a Jimmy Buffett song. I also thought Bad to the Bone was.
oh yeah, I was gonna say that was another really.
Yeah, my least favorites were Bad to the Bone and Hulk's the One. Like, though
Yeah.
pretty much any of the tracks that Hulk Hogan didn't sing on, I
Yeah.
thought were just some of the worst ones, except for American Made.
You're just like that little kid who fucking got this CD from the dollar store back then.
Maybe I am, Patrick. Maybe I am.
I told you what the kids want.
Merge soda.
They need Hulk Hogan rapping about
Bob,
Wow.
a lot of Dunkaroos, Bob.
Bob, Jimmy keeps playing Battletoads. Advise her to play Battletoads.
He keeps using the sticky controller. I want the good controller.
Oh
Man.
dear.
Would you recommend this album to anyone, Patrick?
This is a strong yes from me. Absolutely. This is like, yeah, you have to just, you got to listen to it at least once. I don't see why, why not? Why the fuck not? It's Hulk Hogan rapping and singing over, like, God knows what. Just listen to it out there, everybody. Please.
Would you recommend it to anyone, Heather?
I mean, I would recommend it to fans of like kitsch and camp and wrestling. I think if you like those things, then you're gonna like it. If you don't like those things, like off the bat, it's probably gonna be really bad for you to listen to. But I think it has comedic value no matter what. But you gotta have a certain warped sense of taste to enjoy this on really any level.
Yeah.
Mike, who would you recommend this to?
We didn't even have to ask if you.
I would recommend this to everyone.
Yes.
We already do that answer.
I think everyone should listen to this album. I think it's great.
It's not a matter of whether you will.
mean,
It's
I think
who.
you're depriving yourself if you don't listen to it, honestly.
You guys pretty much already covered like who I would recommend it to. Certainly fans of Hulk Hogan, certainly fans of the WWE who can appreciate some good cheese, to fans of musical oddities in general. I feel like the people who would get the most out of this are the same kind of people who are befuddled and charmed by those Golden Throats compilations from the 60s and 70s. You know, the ones that had like Leonard Nimoy singing Bob Dylan songs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sebastian Cabot singing Peter, Paul, and Mary.
And
These are real.
I'm not familiar with
is that
it.
is
but
that
okay.
the one that also has what's the fucking guy's name? Sebastian or something? I don't remember.
Sebastian
Bach?
Cabot.
No, the guy, he has one name and he would do like spoken word with an acoustic guitar in like the 60s. Donovan.
No, these were compilations of celebrities singing songs. Like,
Okay, Donovan
nice.
wasn't involved.
They're like the William Shatner version of Rocket Man was on them. There was
wow.
there was Mae West doing Twist and Shout at one point.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Jim Neighbors singing Sunshine of My Life.
I gotta
DeForest
check
Kelly
this
on
out.
there too.
Maybe.
What's this called?
Golden Throats.
All right,
It was a series of compilations put out by Rhino Records during like the late 60s and into the 70s.
It sounds awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's something.
The music industry has been a hell of a fucking thing.
Oh,
That's all I have
boy.
to say
And
about
how?
Heather Mack and Mike Dunn, thank you very much for
Yeah,
being on the
seriously.
program. This
This
was
was a
so
lot of
much
fun.
fun.
Thank you so much for having us.
We definitely got to have you guys back on a future episode.
Yay!
What
Likewise.
would you guys like to plug?
Ooh, well, you can check out our next episode, which I don't know which one's coming up first, but featuring you guys reviewing Hinder Extreme Behavior. So that's going to be a thing that you can listen to. And then after that, we're going to be doing Mike Dunn's birthday special, which is The Simpsons Sing the Blues.
Yep.
So
That's gonna be nuts.
that's
Yeah,
it's
that's
going to be bad.
fantastic.
It's really, I pre-listened. It's
Oh boy.
horrible.
That about.
I had it as a child too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The
Yeah.
thing was,
It
that
all makes sense now.
I had songs in the key of Springfield, which was just the songs that were actually in the show, and I
Yeah.
thought that was great. And then I got Simpsons Sing the Blues.
and it was not what you
It was
expected.
not what I.
That was during like cash grab era of The Simpsons, like
Yeah.
before they had the good writers on. This was like
Do the
season
Bartman.
1 or
Season 1,
2.
everyone had weird voices that they don't have anymore. Like Homer sounds so different in those early seasons.
Was that
Yeah.
Watch out, boy.
was that Frosty?
I'm gonna
Chocolate?
wring
your neck, boy.
Was that
You
Frosty?
need frosty milkshakes.
Frosty chocolate milkshakes.
Frosty.
Homer.
Frosted chocolate
Let's all
milkshake.
go out for frosty chocolate milkshakes.
That was good. That's good. Yeah, so you can
boy.
hear us try to attempt to do that
To make sense of it.
accent.
That'll be great. Yes.
I am seriously looking forward to what you guys think of Look at All These Idiots.
Oh my
I
God, you're
fucking
right.
love
Yeah.
that song, and it's so stupid.
I think there was a couple songs I liked on it. I haven't listened to it since I was, maybe
Yeah.
9 years old.
Mr.
So.
Burns doing a bouncy 80s pop song,
Oh,
basically.
there's Deep
can't wait.
Trouble too. The B side to Do the Bartman.
I remember Deep Trouble.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into it. We'll get into it on the show. You'll have
Deep
to
Deep
stay tuned.
Trouble
We're
is-
not going to give it away. All right, we're gonna save it
All
for the
right,
show.
If you want to hear more, you got to go check their podcast out.
Yeah, makeitstoppodcast.com.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, makeitstoppodcast.com. We're on Podbeam. We're on iTunes. We're on Twitter. Make it stopcast. We have our own website, makeitstoppodcast.com. And you can email us at makeitstoppodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And you guys are in bands or projects as well.
Yeah, I got no shows coming up though.
All right.
We got a show. We got a show at the end of March and a show in April, but we're doing a EP release around that time, so we're gonna be doing a few shows.
Very cool.
Who is this again?
This is for Deborah. This is my band, Deborah. DeborahBoston.bandcamp.com. And then Blow has a big show tomorrow, but that's not. But it's great.
What about your wrestling
So
organization?
if
Yeah,
you've
the
got-
Boston League of Wicked Wrestlers, BLOWW.org. Check us out. We are fucking wild. If you like this, you'll really like us.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic.
I guess I might as well say blameshifter.bandcamp.com, but
There
no
you go.
shows coming up.
Yeah, awesome.
Right, I have to pee.
Same.
All right, let's wrap stuff up then. That about does it for our show. Our theme song is Sunny Day by the band Froggy and the Friendship. You can check them out at froggyandthefriendship.bandcamp.com. If you've got an album you'd like to suggest for us to review or would just like to leave us some feedback or a comment, email us at jukeboxzeroespodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/jukeboxzeroespodcast or on Twitter at twitter.com/jukeboxzeroes. We are now available to subscribe to on iTunes. Look for Jukebox Zeroes on Apple Podcasts and give us a rating and review. And our archive main page is jukeboxzeroes.podbean.com. That about does it for this episode of Jukebox Zeroes. I'm Lee.
I'm Patrick.
And remember,
Hulkamania.
bye-bye. Outro.